The topic of the webinar yesterday was using xAPI outside of L&D, and perfectly coincided with a little hobby project I've been working on, so I thought I'd share. So it was inspired by, been going to the gym for the last couple of months and running laps around the track. It's a small track, so 16 laps equals 1 mile. And I've been using this tally counter here. It's just a little app that every time I do a lap, I increment. So you can see there. And if I accidentally hit it, I can decrement. So it worked fine, and I could count my laps and keep track of how far I was going, but there was no history. Every day I was just resetting it and starting fresh, and didn't really know my lap times or any of that kind of stuff. So I thought, boy, that'd be a fun little xAPI project. So I'll show you this. This is just a web app that I created. Pretty much stole the interface, just increment and decrement, changed a few things about it a little bit, but we'll show you how this works. If I hit start here, starts my run, gives me the time that I started it, and then I can increment laps. So hit plus there, so that would have been a 7-second lap. I was flying that day. Usually they take me more like 40 seconds. And then we'll add another lap in here. And then when I'm done with the run, we just hit done. What this did on the backside, though, is it created a start statement, 2 lap statements, and then also a completed statement. So the next part, we'll take a look at that. Just if the times don't seem to match up, it's because I'm recording this in 2 different parts. I didn't like the first part, so I redid it. So check out part 2, and we'll take a look at what's coming into the LRS. Okay, so let's take a look at the data that's actually being transmitted from that little app. So here's just that little test run that we just did a few minutes ago. I'll show you a real run here in a minute. But you can just kind of take a look at the way the statements are coming in. So here's my started statement. Passing in the verb, start, some basic stuff here. And I don't even think I'm passing in the start time. Well, actually, I am passing in the start time because I used it as the activity name. So this is the start time of the run, really just telling me that something started here, and it's kind of establishing itself as the parent activity. Now from there, we've got different laps that come in. So we've got lap 1, and you can see here now it's a completely different activity, but when we come down to context activities, excuse me, and you take a look at parent, you'll see that the parent is that new run. So the parent is actually that start activity, this start activity right here is the parent that's showing in context activities. That'll be handy later when we pull it back out again. We can say, hey, anything associated with this parent, we want to take a look at all of that data. And then we're actually using an extension here, right down here, and we're just recording the individual lap time and what lap number it is. So this was the first lap, and it took 8 seconds. All right, and then finally, so you can see lap 2, I hit it twice, and then when I hit the done button, it generated this completed statement. And when we take a look at this completed statement now we're back to using the same activity ID as we did down here, because we're talking about the same run. Okay, so when we look at September 20th here, talking about the same run, but just a different verb on that run. But then the other thing that we did is passed in an extension of the entire run, right? So here is the start time of the run. Here's the finish time of the run. Here's the total time of 22 seconds. Here's lap 1 and then lap 2. And then this third key here refers to how long between your last lap and when you hit the done button, because the done is what kind of aggregates it all and puts it all together again. So let's take a look at a real run. That was just an example, but if I go here, I know on the 18th, I used this, and I haven't been slacking. I've ran since, but I just didn't get a chance to use my app. All right, so I'm gonna hit refresh. Okay, so here is a complete run. So you can see we start way down here, and it just fits in here with 50 items being shown, but we started a run on September 18th at this time. Here's all of the individual laps, so I could blow up any one of those and look at the individual lap time, lap number. And then here's my completed statement, and you can see the context that comes in. So we've got all laps passed in, we've got the start time, the finish time, all that good stuff. Basically everything we're going to need to create the next phase of this app, which is going to be the charting and the reporting and actually pulling the data back out of my LRS in order to aggregate it and make charts and graphs. So I'll create another video when I get into that, kind of show you what that looks like and the process that we go through to do that. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me and give me a shout. And hopefully I'll be able to make some more of these in the future. Thanks.